They told me that there would be a lot more deaths and that I'd been linked to somebody that was there for a lot of them.
Did you have any concerns that there was a rise in the mortality rate?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that. What concerns did you have?
I think we'd all just noticed as a team in general, the nursing staff, that this was a rise compared to previous years.
Hospitals, places of healing, of new beginnings. And for parents, the first cries of their newborn child are meant to be the start of a lifetime of memories. But at the Countess of Chester Hospital in northwest England, something unthinkable was happening. Between June 2015 and June 2016, babies were dying, and no one could explain why. Lucy Letby was, by all accounts, ordinary. Born in Hereford in 1990, she was raised by loving parents, excelled in school, and pursued her dream of becoming a neonatal nurse, someone trained to care for the smallest, most vulnerable lives. In 2011, she joined the Countess of Chester Hospital. Colleagues described her as quiet, conscientious, and kind. She would often buy little gifts for her patients, but behind the smile, something dark was stirring. In June 2015, doctors noticed something was wrong. A healthy twin suddenly collapsed and died. Then within days, another. By the end of that summer, more babies were dying or suffering inexplicable collapses, all on the same shift, under the same nurse's care. Medical staff grew uneasy. One consultant said later, "Every time Lucy Letby was on duty, a baby died." At first, management dismissed the idea. Coincidence, they said. Bad luck. But as the deaths continued, concern became fear. Some doctors demanded Letby be removed from the ward. Instead, she was simply reassigned, moved to the hospital's risk and patient safety office. There, she wrote complaint emails, attended meetings, and watched as her name continued to appear in whispers and reports she wasn't supposed to see. By 2017, the hospital could no longer hide the numbers. 15 infant deaths, several near misses. Cheshire police were called in. Detectives began an exhaustive review. Thousands of pages of medical charts, blood test results, and staffing rotas. One name kept appearing at every scene. Lucy Letby, July 2018. Police arrested her for the first time, suspected of murdering 8 babies and attempting to kill 6 more.
They told me that there would be a lot more deaths and that I'd been linked to somebody that was there for a lot of them.
Did you have any concerns that there was a rise in the mortality rate?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that. What concerns did you have?
I think we'd all just noticed as a team in general, the nursing staff, that this was a rise compared to previous years.
She was calm, polite, and released on bail. A year later, another arrest. Again, no charges. But detectives were certain something was deeply wrong. In November 2020, they struck again.
Oh, Lucy, is it?
Yes.
Hello, my name's Chester, please. Okay, step in 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, not a problem.
I'm going to put you in the back seat over here.
Hold on now until
Yes.
I get this seat.
Okay, just take a seat in there for me, Lucy. I'll move that seat forward a bit shortly.
Yeah, I've just had knee surgery. So
Oh, right, okay.
And this time, Lucy Letby was charged with 7 counts of murder and 15 counts of attempted murder. The headlines exploded. Nurse of death, they called her. The nation watched as the once trusted nurse became Britain's most hated woman. The trial began in October 2022 at Manchester Crown Court. It lasted 10 months, one of the longest murder trials in British history. Prosecutors laid out their case. They said Lucy Letby injected air into babies' bloodstreams, poisoned milk with insulin, and tampered with ventilators, all while pretending to comfort grieving parents. They showed handwritten notes found in her home, one that read, "I am evil. I did this," but her defense team argued she was being scapegoated. that she worked in a chaotic unit with poor staffing and failing equipment, and that she was a dedicated nurse blamed for systemic failure. Still, the evidence was overwhelming. Parents wept in court. Doctors described sleepless nights and the horror of watching babies collapse for no reason they could explain. On August 18, 2023, Lucy Letby was found guilty of murdering 7 babies and attempting to murder 6 others. She was given a whole life order, the most severe punishment in British law, meaning she will die behind bars. When the verdict was read, Letby refused to enter the courtroom. She would not face the family she destroyed.
Lucy Letby, on each of the 7 offences of murder and the 7 offences of attempted murder, I sentence you to imprisonment for life. Because the seriousness of your offences is exceptionally high, I direct that the early release provisions do not apply. The order of the court, therefore, is a whole life order on each and every offence, and you will spend the rest of your life in prison.
For the parents, the wounds never closed. Each spoke of the same unbearable grief. Babies who died in their arms after being told they were recovering. Some had been asked by Lucy Letby herself to hold their child's tiny hand moments before death. At sentencing, one mother's statement read, "Our baby was beautiful, perfect, and so loved. You robbed us of the life we dreamed of. You have no idea what you've taken." Another father said, "We trusted you. We thought you were there to help. You smiled as our baby died." Their voices echoed through the courtroom. Heartbreak turned to rage. And for Britain, this was no longer just a crime. It was a national trauma. The British press descended. Angel of death, evil nurse, monster in scrubs. Every newspaper front page carried her face, the smiling young nurse in blue uniform. Talk shows debated her motives. Was it narcissism, a god complex, or something beyond comprehension? Social media burned with anger. Parents demanded answers from the hospital. How did no one stop her? Why were doctors silenced when they raised alarms? Public pressure forced the government's hand. A public inquiry was announced, led by Lady Justice Catherine Thirlwall, to investigate how Letby's crimes went unnoticed for so long. It would be one of the largest medical crime inquiries in British history. Lucy Letby now lives under constant watch at HMP Low Newton, a high-security women's prison. She is serving 15 concurrent whole-life sentences after a 2024 retrial added another conviction. She will never be released. But even behind bars, controversy follows her. It was revealed she had continued to receive NHS salary payments for nearly 4 years after being suspended, and that she is still eligible for an NHS pension unless the government intervenes. Families call it a disgrace that the woman who murdered their children could one day draw money from the health system she corrupted. Meanwhile, the Thirlwall inquiry continues, examining hospital leadership, whistleblowing failures, and whether senior managers ignored doctors' warnings to protect the hospital's reputation. Lucy Letby's crimes shattered faith in a system built on trust and care. They forced Britain to ask, how could one nurse kill under the radar of colleagues, managers, and an entire institution? How many alarms were ignored in the name of reputation? For the families, justice came too late. Their babies gone, their futures stolen. For the public, the scars remain, a haunting reminder that evil can wear a caring face and hide in plain sight. Lucy Letby will never walk free again, but the questions she left behind about power, silence, and accountability may haunt the halls of British hospitals for years to come.